once we get through, freaking Twitch will play an ad, and it will be, and it will be live and direct.
Yeah.
Alright, there's them playing out on my dashboard. Alright, which means we're live. Hello, everybody in Twitchland.
Hello, everybody in Twitchland. Don't mind me. I'm just paying this traffic ticket I got.
What?
No, parking ticket. A non-moving violation.
Snacks with
overtime meter.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which, you know, tough break. It's ultimately a small ticket. You know, I never get parking tickets in the city ever. I go to the suburbs, tickets flying at me.
Just
I cross the town line. I cross the Hudson River, and there's just this like machine shooting tickets at me.
There's a ticket fireball.
Oh my god, it's bad.
But yes, welcome to everybody in Twitchland.
Welcome.
It's me, Frog, my good friend Snacks here.
What up?
Continuing our adventures in Mario Kart. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna start now. Snacks just joined me up.
Yeah, let me join you. Let me put down this non-moving violation and
Yeah, put down your non-moving violation, and let's see if we can have some more good times in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, so I'm digging Dry Bowser. So I love Dry Bowser with the Blue Falcon.
Right.
Mad cool. The trick is to have decent amount of if you need at least 2 full bars of traction. If you don't have 2 full bars of traction,
right,
you're not making those turns, even if your handling is okay.
Yeah, it's a total wrap.
You need good top speed, good traction. That's kind of like my go-to. If you've got like 2.5 to 3 full bars, and then like 4 to 5 full bars for speed, then I'm happy.
Yeah, I definitely in this game.
For me.
Yeah, in this game, I definitely favor speed over everything else. I don't think we ever actually talked about like how crazy it was between Mario Kart 7 on 3DS and this game, how they completely reinvented the way that you're supposed to think about Mario Kart.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did. I think they change a lot of the mechanics just for the sake of keeping things like just for the sake of like normalizing things online. I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. They want, because you can't have a giant cast and all these character customizations and kart customizations, and it means like nothing. We've all played games where that's the case, so it's a good thing that they ultimately changed it because now it's actually meaningful.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy how much it affected how you're supposed to think about the game. Because remember, I was always laughing like when we first got the game, Mario Kart 7 anyway. Yeah. I was like, alright, Mario Kart, you already know what it is. Toad, let's do this. I'm gonna body everybody. Yeah. And it was, you know, mental trauma when I found out that not only was I not going to body everybody, but I had to completely, like, flip my game. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you had told me in 2007 that I would have, like, mained Bowser in a Mario Kart game, I would have laughed you out of the state.
Yeah, oh, totally. And even, like, I don't know, man. They must have known, because it really, like, there's enough customization options now for you to kind of not have your cake and eat it too, but like something close to it.
Right.
Like you can, but the thing is like you're right. Top speed is kind of like top speed and traction is like
you have to have it.
It's a deadly combination, and there's something that you are always gonna miss with the lighter characters, which is so crazy why they even decided to put so many dumb baby characters in this game. Anyway,
let's come back to that part, but
yeah, but it's like, you know, you have all these baby characters and like they've got the low weight and the low speed, and they can turn like great, but
everything else is butt.
Yeah, and it's because like you're so you're not as married to the like high tech of snaking anymore and stuff like that.
Oh, snaking! Oh god!
I'm serious, but like you used to be able to manipulate the track to your lack of speed,
right?
But it's no longer an option.
No, it's not.
It's no longer plausible.
It's not. Yeah, you snaking. That was.
Yeah, so you can use the weight and the speed to your advantage now without not being able to turn at all.
Snaking was at least in my opinion, was a dark period in Mario Kart. Because I mean, yeah, you could say it actually introduced like skill into the mix, but to me it just became ridiculous because it became a thing where if you didn't snake, you had absolutely no shot at winning, which was to me like antithetical to the entire point of this game.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I know this sounds like the people who are constantly complaining like, tournament smash. How did I get sick? Oh man, I'm talking about not paying proper attention. Yeah, I know it sounds like all the people who are like, why do we have to have tournament smash? Party game. I know it sounds like that, but I don't know. I just feel like snaking kind of killed the fun.
Yeah,
even as impressive it was as like, you know, a skill thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of like one of those never-ending debates. Did wave dashing ruin Smash? Like, did snaking ruin Mario Kart DS? Like, you'll kind of never get to the end of that. You'll never win that argument.
Right.
Neither party will.
Right.
So,
now, funny because now this is not to single you out, but
yeah,
people talk about wave dashing, and I always find it funny that people talk about wave dashing because wave dashing isn't even like the crazy tech for Melee.
Oh no.
Like
no.
the crazy tech for Melee starts with L canceling.
Yeah.
Like that's a start. Wave dashing is like whatever. Like that's like knowing how to do a fireball. Like but people put so much focus into that. I just always found that was funny.
Well, I think wave dashing has become like this cinematic, or I should say the alliterative trope for like you know, people who have like figured something out about the game that you haven't.
Right.
So you know, it's less you know, it's more of a like a reductive slur than anything else. Like
I like that.
Like someone's like a wave dasher, and as opposed to somebody who like actually enjoys the game, and like, you know, people will like use that in that context, but it's never. But yeah, it's the easiest one because it's the one that everybody's heard of. You know, like you can talk about. You know, you can talk about like IV breeding in Pokemon and be like, oh yeah, he's like, he takes Pokemon way too seriously, like IV breeds, but like IV breeding is like one of the first things you gotta learn if you want to take like Pokemon shit seriously. But then again, you can always look at you know, people who like poo-poo people for IV breeding don't know like what the Masuda method is like.
Right.
And
I do. So there.
So it's like, yeah, that's sort of second. Just whatever.
Shout out to Mario Kart. I'm in like, thanks to our favorite weapon, Bullet Bill, I just like made a little bit of comeback. But yeah, you're right. There's always gonna be somebody that poo-poos all competitive scenes because people are you know, tryhards or whatever. Yeah,
well, when you look at stuff like Smash and Pokemon and stuff like that, you know, there's always going to be like, you know, people who think that there was like some previous sanctity to it that was sullied but really, you know, it probably has more to do with marketing than anything else. Like, they're not wrong to say that like Smash is like supposed to be a friendly game.
Right.
Even Nintendo would agree with them.
Especially Nintendo would agree with them.
Yeah, but you know, or like, you know, Pokemon, same thing. But if you look at a game like Street Fighter, right? The whole point of Street Fighter is to be the best at Street Fighter. And
right.
you know, if you know frame data, nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, well, like he ruined.
He ruined Street Fighter.
Street Fighter by like reading about frame data. Like, no, he just cared about it more than you. Like, so it's weird. It's marketing. It's like initial initial conceptions about it.
Right.
Stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, pause tape, because we should say, yeah, Labyrinth.
Yo, it's our boy, Labyrinth. What's going on?
What up, Labyrinth?
You guys streamed the learning company yet? Yo, we're trying, man.
Oh, so actually, okay. I forgot to tell you, so thanks, Labyrinth, for reminding me. Labyrinth actually, during a different stream, told us where we can find the learning company games.
Wait, where?
There's a website. I'll show you after.
Is it like in browser or?
Yes, it's in browser.
No way.
Yeah, it's a whole crazy website. So, but what we're gonna have to do is, so Labyrinth, when we're doing like these streams, we're all doing remotely, so we're trying to like play together. But I want to talk to our good friend Uncle Paws, because Uncle Paws lives near me, so we'll usually do like some in-person stuff. That would be a game we do for like an in-person night. So I think that's what we'll do. Probably our next in-person night, we'll stream some gizmos and gadgets and see how far we get in that.
Yo,
which should be a great time.
I'm kind of bummed I'm not going to be a part of that, because Gizmos and Gadgets, like, I played that at home. I didn't just play that at school. Like, our school...
Oh, you were fancy.
Oh, they sold it at the Scholastic Book Fair. We went over this. They sold it at the Scholastic Book Fair, and I was like, this game's hot. And so I had to get it. And,
you had the horns out.
I had it in my family's, like, old HP desktop.
Woo!
Yeah. I was not joking with Gizmos and Gadgets. And that stuff was hard. I was like 7, 8. That stuff was hard, man.
See, now I'm really curious, because I want to know if, as a bunch of 28-year-olds, if we're still going to be like, what the shit is this?
Well, here's the thing, like...
Also, how much of that information is going to be outdated, because that game's from like 91.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it was like simple, like simple engineering.
Right.
And that stuff's like, you know, physics hasn't changed.
Right. Not the fundamentals anyway. No.
It's the beginning of time, you know. So I think a lot of that stuff is going to hold true. Like, I think police work the same way as they did in 1991.
Right.
But sorry.
Oh.
I just have my keyboard. He loves keyboards.
Kidding keyboard.
You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, you're still fine.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Simple engineering, basic physics, all that stuff hasn't changed. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting... Actually, Uncle Paul's, when we went over the fact that we had this website where we could find this stuff, he actually pulled out a game or two that he couldn't believe he found on that website.
Is it just
from
old
back
games, or is it like...
It's basically a website of old abandonware. So, it's basically a virtual warehouse.
Oh, wow.
Of...
That's crazy, because, like, man, that's a shame that the learning companies are still making video games. Like, I mean, with all the tech in classrooms now, you would think the learning company would, like, find something to put...
Is the learning company even still around? Oh, I just got clapped.
They mustn't be.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was a dumb question, wouldn't it? Because then the copyrights would still in some way be in place, because they probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes back to the whole thing, like you were talking about a while ago. We've done our podcast about, like, how you preserve games, and it seems like this was one group of people's effort just to be able to preserve these random, like, MS-DOS games. Labyrinth says he'll be right back, but later you guys should make room. Please battle mode. It's fun.
Just hit a soft spot there.
Yeah, battle mode in this game is If this was even Mario Kart 7, I'd be like, hell yeah. But yeah, the battle mode in this game, aka he who should not be named. But if you want to race with us, then you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, you can definitely join, and if you want to see us do some battle mode, like we'll grit our teeth and we'll do a few, but you know, yeah, it's kind of like a point of contention.
I don't think there's any contention. It's just ass.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah,
you know? Like it's a great game, but except for
battle mode. Now, if we still need to work on our online old school adventures, because then we can get our somehow we can get our remote double dash. But we'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
So Labyrinth, basically, stay tuned. Everybody, stay tuned on that one.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Mario Kart, so, and all things Nintendo. So there'll be plenty of that stuff here.
True.
All the Nintendo is fit to print.
The dry Bowser acceleration is so booty. Like you need that initial boost.
Or you're cooked.
Yeah. It was so slow out the gate. It's like, oh.
The ongoing joke that, shout out to Donald, but good friend Donald hates the joke that, like, if you miss the first item box, the race is over. But online, it's kind of true. Like, you missed that first item box, like, bro, it's not looking good for you.
Yeah.
Unless you happen to get, like, 3 bullet bills in a row or some outrageousness like that. Like, it is not looking good for you. Because this game is so freaking cutthroat online, I can't even believe it.
Oh my god, it really is.
Like,
if I get above 6, I'm like, alright.
Like, this is a good match. But I mean, yeah, and honestly, this is another point that Donald had made, which is that when you get to the upper tiers of ranking in this game, it's not even about placing first every time. It's just making sure that you don't fall below a certain point, because then you get nailed in how many points you lose.
Yeah.
So, and of course it's Mario Kart, so you're not going to get first consistently. You're going to get taken by some stupidness.
Right. You're pretty much keeping your head above water for most people's game.
Yeah. Keep your head above water and, you know, steal the opportunities to get first when you can.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so there is, contrary to popular opinion, Mario Kart does involve strategy. It's just that the strategy is like weird, and you have to accept the fact that much of it is not even in your immediate control.
Yeah. And that's what makes the game like not applicable in a lot of people's tier lists of favorite competitive games, but
I like that you did a tier list reference in it. That was good.
It's at least awesome to stream for that same reason.
Right.
And
yeah, because it's totally unpredictable.
Yeah, and you can appreciate somebody being good at the game, even if they finish third out of a field of 12. You know, like I just did.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I just got 5th. Nailed. You're one of the people that passed me!
Yep.
Freaking...
Got the three mushrooms right at the end, like, peace.
You see what I mean? Like, you're not going to get first every time because you're going to get nailed with something like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Not Wario's Gold Mine.
Super Bell Subway, man. That's
Sweet Canyon, boy. What? Come on, man. Nobody is picking Sweet Canyon.
Because that was alright. I mean, I don't know why all these people pick Wario's Gold Mine, whatever, but...
Wario's Gold Mine sucks. Why am I getting, these, ultimate disses on the tracks? Like, nobody agrees with me? Like, a good track in this game?
Sorry, bro.
You know, it's just like, just my opinion just like means literally nothing.
In this particular vote, apparently that seems to be a case. But so did mine. Only one other person voted with me, so...
Votes in games are just so... They're just so treacherous. Like when Halo... What was it? Halo 3 or Halo Reach?
You mean veto?
Yeah, like what was the... Like, why...
I don't know what they were thinking with that system, but...
Exactly, and like, this isn't much different. I mean... You know,
at least this is straightforward.
Well, it's straightforward, but it's also like it's even more petty because you can see who voted for what.
True.
And like, I don't think you can. I don't remember.
But I mean, at least you don't see it while you're voting, because then it would be straight popularity contest. I just.
Yeah, that's true.
At least it's blind pick.
Like at least. So I guess like with that system, it's a little bit better. But in the Halo system, it was like. You saw, like, if it was a tie, you would just pick the one you knew your friend didn't want. Like, just out of spite. It's like, oh.
Yeah, in Reach, yeah, you could see the numbers as you voted. So then people started playing the numbers to make sure that you got the crappy level in. Or to make sure you got stupid-ass sword base. Sword base.
Oh my god, I just got knocked off the track twice.
Shout out to Mario Kart.
Amazing.
Shout out to Mario Kart. The gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, sword base, wow, that was... The level wasn't even bad, it was just that it had that one annoying... I don't know how much Reach you played, but... yeah, that annoying choke point it had on that stupid elevator, where people were like, I'm gonna go up this elevator. I'm certainly not gonna get caught by somebody who's posted up at the top. Which is, of course, what happened every single time.
Yeah.
And, you know, then you had people who thought they were hot, and they're like, I want to throw a grenade up there before I go, and I certainly won't get caught. And then all the people did was hide in a corner, completely out of the range of the grenade.
Yeah. We figured out, like, we did, like, and when I say we, I mean my buddy Nick from Connecticut did this, kind of in jest, but like also was totally serious. Like we kind of figured out that like every Halo map has the spot that you need to control, and that spot is always top mid. It doesn't matter what the level is. If
right.
you control top mid, you're in good shape. So like we would they like implemented callouts, right?
Right.
So that like. It says on the bottom of the screen in Halo 5, which I think is actually a great thing.
I think they introduced that in Reach, actually.
Yeah, it could have been, but
either Reach or 4, but yeah, go on.
They implemented the callouts for like, you know, in like the competitive scene for Halo, and it was just like, so this way you could the common man could just like know where he is and not have to learn the like colloquialisms for the callouts.
Right.
And we were like, I mean, I was thinking to myself, what's the point? If it's not top mid, you're losing. So
right.
Just go top mid. Like either the enemy is top mid, or they're trying to get to top mid. So just top mid. Just get yourself in top.
Just
mid.
Get there, and you'll be in good shape.
I can't tell if the stream is shaky, or if it's like my internet.
What happened? You get stuttering?
A little bit. Occasionally. It's fine now, but like, I guess we'll have, if somebody comes back, we'll have them take a look at it.
Yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything in my, because I have it open also, but I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to talk about people not picking good levels? 3 out of 12 people picked freaking, Rainbow Road? What is this?
Yeah, Rainbow Road's whack.
What?
Yeah, in this one it's whack.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry, that's just.
Well, actually, you should specify which Rainbow Road, because I'm talking about SNES.
But that one's fine. I guess.
The Rainbow Road of this game, like Mario Kart 8's original Rainbow Road, is not that great. No, you're right. Great. Okay. Don't forget there's that, the SNES one, and the N64 one all in this game. This is like the Rainbow Road extravaganza.
Yeah. I just don't love Rainbow Road. People love it because it's like the one constant. I don't know if I love it.
Let's see. That's a good question. So, like, which is the best one? I mean, you know me and how I, like, basically, jerk off the Double Dash, so...
Yeah.
That
was fine, but honestly, I think the 64 one was really good.
I hate the 64 one with a passion, because that level epitomized everything I hate about that game, which is that they did things that were huge because they could, but it wasn't any better because of it. That level is 6 minutes long. In this version, they shortened it. Notice, because in this game, they said, okay, we'll just split it in, instead of 3 laps of that giant course, we'll just do 1 and call it 3 sections. But in the N64 original, you would have done what was a 3-section race in this game 3 times. It was like a 6-minute course, and it wasn't even like there were any interesting obstacles or turns or anything like that. All there was the annoying chain chomp that moved in the opposing direction. So it was pretty, outside of the fact that you could like leap off the course and cut out half the track if you were hot.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there was nothing interesting about that Rainbow Road at all, other than it was really long. And we were like, whoa, it's really long course. Oh my god, bro.
Maybe that's what I remember. Maybe I just remember being long.
It's the same thing with like freaking Block Fort and I forgot what the other level was, but those levels people loved because they were gigantic, but as far as actual battle stages, they were terrible. Because you just ran around for 45 minutes and you just ran from everybody.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Sorry, I had to fire some shots at MK64. Logan's here. What's up, Logan?
What's going on, dude?
You came just in time for Mario Kart ranting.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, in our group, mine and Justin's, his hate is much stronger than mine. I'm just like, people need to sit down with the thirst on that game, but he's like, that game is awful. I'm like, I'm not gonna go that far. Like, there was some hot tracks in Mario Kart 64. Like,
yeah.
Like Royal Raceway is a hot track.
The Yoshi Ranch, is that on 64?
Yeah, and in this game, that's a pretty good track.
I love that track.
I love DK's Jungle Parkway. I love that track.
Mm-hmm.
People hate Banshee Boardwalk. I love that course.
Banshee Boardwalk. I don't even know if I can recall that one from memory.
Yeah, that's... You can think of that one every time you come across the annoying bats in Wario's Gold Mine, because that's pretty much what that course was. Running into annoying bats and being stopped in your tracks.
Yeah, man. Speaking of hot tracks, though, we should really figure out how to get some Crash Team Racing up in here one week.
Oh. You said some fire words right there.
Because you know my hot take.
Crash Team Racing is, the game of that generation. Well, unless of course you're one of unless you're one of the Diddy Kong Racing. I don't know if I'd use the word apostates, but but if you're one of those people,
yeah. One of the man, what do they call people who are like Jehovah's Witnesses? Don't they have like a name?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, it's different. It's different. Like the religion is different. The name of the religion is different than the name of the follower. But like, yeah, I guess you could use apostate. It's like the general. It's like the general person who's like believing in some like ultimate edict.
Right.
That edict being that Diddy Kong Racing was the best kart game of all time.
Oh yeah. At that one, I'm never going to. I will totally give people better than Mario's Kart 64. That's not a hard bar to climb. I'll even give them, if people want to say that was the best one of like the N64 PlayStation generation, sure. All time, please sit down. Please sit down.
Yeah. You can. Crash Team Racing, though.
Crash Team Racing is an awesome game. There's no doubt.
No joke. It's got it all.
It really does. That game was ahead of its time.
Yeah, it's a shame it didn't, you know, I guess get the recognition it deserves, but I mean, the older
Well, you know what? I think it was because it was probably seen as like a shameless attempt to rib on like the success of Mario Kart.
Yeah, and it's just so unfair because it did so much more, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think part of the reason they even got to do that much was because they knew that they were going to be fighting. I'm going to get past. That they were going to be fighting Perception. Ooh, second. I'll take that. Labyrinth says, I'm back in the house, chilling. Let me know if you want to play. Yeah, if you want to join us for Racing Bros, you know, add me on, what's its face, on the Wii U here. Clapping Frog, one word. That's the gamer tag.
That's it.
That's it. Add me in here. We'll throw you in for some racing adventures. I feel like we got all these courses already, but I'm gonna pick Dragon Driftway. Yes, second place. Like, thank you very much. But it's like I said, you know, you gotta try and just keep your head above water. That's what I'm trying to do right there.
That's all you gotta do, man.
I mean, I'm just trying to minimize the 12th place doo-doo finishes.
Yeah, if you can avoid bottom 3, you know, that's how it works in like English soccer. You know, you finish in the bottom 3 at the end of the season, and you get sent down, like the whole team gets sent down to like a lower division.
Right. Name is Clapping Frog. Clapping. Logan says I had to decide between you or Dingus. Oh yeah, I forgot you have the internet issues because I'm gonna be like you could have had both of them open.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Logan. It's all love. So you know, we're all in this together. So if you need to get your Monster Hunter on,
yeah, we're all in Kart, you know.
Yeah, this is all reinforcing this group effort.
It's
Oh jeez, what am I doing? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I didn't even realize we're on Big Blue. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Even though the existence of the 2 F-Zero courses in this game does make me hurt that much more that we have not had a proper sequel.
Yeah, plus, like, remember Fast Racing Neo?
Yeah, which is dope.
It is, man.
We should play that on. Then again, nobody plays that online. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It would just be us.
I mean, I wouldn't even know. I mean, I played it like pretty heavily when it first came out. I don't know what online numbers are looking like these days.
The online numbers were whack at the beginning, and I'm sure they're non-existent now because the Wii is a dead system.
It's a shame, man. Like they're just like waving, F-Zero like in our faces.
Yeah. I mean, Fast Racing Neo was a pretty good, not F-Zero game. You know, and it had brought its own flavor, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess, I mean, given the trials and tribulations of the Wii U, I couldn't really fairly expect it to take off like that. The fact that they even got it done is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I guess you're right. have you...
Oh my god. Sorry.
Have you resigned, like, that, like, to the fact that, there won't be, like, another F-Zero?
I am always reserving hope. Actually, I have a lot of hope for that was horrible. I'll add you, but I won't join up. Remember the whole thing about VR farming? If you guys play a private room battle anytime, don't join up. Okay, well, noted very much. Noted.
Nice.
Logan also said, I don't care. Fired Final Fantasy and I can't watch, so I'm here.
So so he's streaming FF15.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's probably streaming FF15 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sad I'm not playing it right this second. But because it's I got it yesterday, and you know, I played like 2 or 3 hours of it, and you know, it's
So
weird.
far.
It's weird. It's like it's so easy to make fun of, you know. But I don't think that I'm not gonna say that that's a bad thing. I think it's good enough to keep me like coming back, and it's definitely a Final Fantasy game. But like, I think they're almost making fun of the fact that they like have been like
so long.
Like off for so long that it took so long. But there's like some weird stuff so far in the game. It's only the first few hours, and I don't know if they did that on purpose.
Who knows? Yeah, as you know, I don't have the PS4, so I can't get that game yet anyway.
Yeah.
And actually, given what happened with Xenoblade, I am going to wait for. I've heard the reviews. The reviews seem to be pretty much on the side of, as you said, weird, but good weird.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait for what you guys who picked up the game early have to say to decide how far up the priority scale it needs to be for me.
Right.
A lot of people would say it's sad that, you know, we reached the day that FF is not like
an immediate priority.
Yeah, an immediate priority, but them's the breaks. Like, right now I could easily go back to The Witcher, which is like the game that never fucking ends. But I don't care because it's so phenomenal that I don't want it to end. So,
yeah.
So I could be playing that. So if Final Fantasy's like not that great, then it's like, okay. Not to mention, there's also the fact that I could theoretically wait for the PC version, where they may decide to go back and like fix things that people didn't like.
That might be the smarter route. Like, there's nothing about the game so far that's like, oh yeah, maybe don't bother or whatever. But it's I mean, if you have a reason to wait, then wait. It was a priority for me for a lot of reasons, like, but.
Which I totally get, because, I mean, hell, if you'd said this to me maybe even 3 years ago, then it probably would have been, I can't believe that Banana just screwed me so hard. Wow, that sounded terrible. If you'd said to me even 3 years ago, it might have been a much higher priority for me, but especially since I got this PC. What?
Yeah.
Like, it's completely outrageous.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Logan says, speaking of games that never end, I got Skyrim. Oh, boy, you really,
yeah, right?
Logan just got this PC, and he's been doubling down on everything.
Piranha Plant Slide. Do it.
I picked it.
Good.
I'm not a head mage at the Winter College. I like it. I've not played Skyrim. I have Skyrim, and I've never opened it. It's one of the first games I got when I got this PC, because I was like, I know this is like the modern game. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's important. It's an important game to play. I in general, the Elder Scrolls games have only gotten better.
Right.
But my hot take is that Oblivion was better than Skyrim. I know that that's not objectively true, but there were a few things that I liked about it better than Skyrim, and there's nothing I can say in like to be contrarian to Skyrim, because it was fantastic. Like, that's an awesome thing. And like, if you know what you're getting into for the Elder Scrolls, I would say that it's probably the best one. But what I liked about Oblivion is that it took place over a much. It took place in Cyrodiil, which is like the central area in Tamriel.
Right.
Oh my god, I got stuck.
I just saw you get clipped by that freaking train car.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, you know, I love, the thing, I don't know, I just got weird.
Ooh. They were like, no.
I'll just yeah. But But yeah, so the thing I liked about it is it takes place in Cyrodiil, which is the central region, like the capital region.
Right.
The best thing about the capital region is that it's literally central in Tenrio, so it kind of touches all the other areas. So like the north part of Cyrodiil looks like Skyrim, and like the south part looks like the Black Marsh of the map. And like it kind of has like a much more broad
Scope
system.
Oh my god.
Like it's got all the different stuff. It's got mountains, and it's got like great plains, and it's got all this other stuff. So it's kind of cool. Oh, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so you guys can see my cat. There he is, guys. This is Vivi the cat.
Both the cat and the character.
Yeah, this is Vivi, my little black cat. Oh god.
Yo, you have to get Vivi a hat.
Oh my god. I was thinking like it would be so great if I could get a black mage. Like a black mage hat. Like a tiny one for the cat. I have no idea if that's possible. By the way, turn your voice audio up. It's a bit quiet. Both of us or just me? Because you were having it sounded like I was a little bit low earlier.
Yeah, he was a little lower. I have him up all the way right now, but
Yoshi Valley, Yoshi Valley, Yoshi Valley, Yoshi Valley.
Yoshi Valley, Yoshi Valley.
Yoshi Valley right now.
Yes, Logan also brought up Overwatch.
Ooh, Overwatch is such a killer. Like, love it. I can't say enough good things about Overwatch.
You really can't. It's like Overwatch is another gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So, yeah, he says both of us. So I don't know if that's something you can fix. Maybe if you turn the game audio down and, like, master volume up?
Yeah, Frog's louder than me. That I know. I'll turn the game volume down a bit more, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's true in real life also, but...
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, I'll turn the game volume down a bit more, but... Delphox, welcome. Good evening to you, my friend.
Good evening indeed.
Welcome to the Crunch Club.
Yeah, welcome.
Where we're just talking about, like, random shit.
Yeah. Playing Mario Kart, talking about random shit.
This is pretty much what we do. Play Mario Kart and talk about random shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, check us out. Thanks for being here. Yeah, but Overwatch, yeah, truly the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
As you know, but I'll tell this to the stream, that game is the reason I have the PC I'm currently using right now. Because as soon as I saw in 2015 the first trailer for that game, when they introduced the concept of the game, after years of pestering, I finally picked up the phone and called my friend who had been badgering me to let him assist in the process of building a PC. And I said, we're doing it. It turned out to be an amazing decision. Like, Overwatch was just the beginning of a lot of PC gaming goodness. But, yeah.
No, Frog was like an early investor. It was weird. Like, he was talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I heard about it. Which is usually not the case, because, I mean, we both pay attention to gaming news, like, pretty rapidly.
So, yeah, and then I heard this, and I was all on board immediately. And for good reason. Because, and I'm so, what makes that game so exciting is that everything comes down to the characters.
Yeah.
Everything. The fact that they have, oh, this was a horrible decision. The fact that they have so many different abilities. The fact that everyone is a completely different world in itself. The fact that they're such a diverse group. And the fact that they're all so cool.
Yeah.
Like, the world they've established for that game is so great.
Yeah,
and
it seems like something that a lot of games try to do. Like, every game tries to have cool characters, but, like, it's easier said than done.
It really is.
But this is the first one where I'm like, yeah, they're all cool. Like, there's something I like about all of them.
All of them.
And what's brilliant is that
even an annoying ass man.
Even the ones that I don't like for any particular reason, the internet has given me a reason to like them.
Yes, because the community, that's actually like the other hidden secret of the game. I just got massacred. Excuse me. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah.
I'm holding down the back end, 9th and 10th. That, you know what? That's one of the few tracks that's not good for the heavy characters. All those potholes, the cheese potholes.
Yeah.
Whack.
I'm really bad. Delphox says nerf that blue Yoshi. They really should. Yeah, I'm really bad with on that level with the crazy ass hairpin turns. For you, I'm gonna pick Sweet Sweet Canyon. You pick Dry Desert.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that though.
Sweet Canyon, Dry Desert, whatever.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, the hairpin turns on that level, like I can't deal with it. I just go and fly off the side or something. But yeah, going back to Overwatch, the community is like the other hidden secret because it has inspired every single artist on the internet.
Every single one.
Every single one. Like, when the game first came out in particular, I used to just sit on my lunch break and just, like, laugh to myself at Overwatch names on the internet. I probably looked like a psycho, I don't care, because it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, when Dad76 became a thing, I was just crying laughing.
You're like, I was there.
I was there. I was there for the creation of that meme. Dad76 taking care of his family, and Mama Mercy with her voluptuous rear.
Yeah, and I don't know what I enjoyed more, the fact that people were so swift and unforgiving with the Overwatch porn, or the fact that like that Blizzard actually came out and was like, stop making porn of our game, please.
What made it even funnier is that the game wasn't out yet.
I know.
People did the porn during the beta. I was like,
which we really shouldn't, freak out about, because it's like, I mean, they do cosplay of stuff before it's out.
Right. I mean,
So-
that's true, and like really good cosplay.
Yeah. Like professional stuff.
Yeah, professional cosplay for games. For example, last year, I don't know if you were with me, but Cliffy D's game Lawbreakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody had like a full-on, because there's like a Reinhardt-ish character in that game,
Yeah.
and somebody had like a full-on outfit of that character at Cliffy D's panel. I'm like, how on earth did you do that?
Yeah. It's amazing. So yeah, I mean, when people are so eager to like get in on an IP like right away, especially a new one with
Right.
good characters, like you have to expect the full gamut. You have to expect the professional level cosplay, and you gotta expect the porn. You gotta expect it.
Yeah. It just never stops being funny though. People saw those characters and then they just gave themselves the knowing glance, and then the next day there was just an entire website full of smut.
Yeah, they just like put their hands like in the middle, and they were like, break.
Yeah.
They went into a huddle, and they were just like, yep.
They're like,
you know what to do, right?
Yeah, this is it.
They were they were like new IP from Blizzard. Are there girls in it?
Yep.
And then they just nodded.
But well, that's the other thing. It didn't even matter. They were like, everybody is gonna nail everybody in that game. Okay. Delphox says Cheeseland's a course for high attraction vehicles. Makes perfect sense. Only few courses low attraction courses where you don't use max speed combos to get VR. Yeah. You're totally right. Labyrinth asks if for Overwatch is it all about the multiplayer or the single player grade 2? There is none.
There's no single player. It's only multiplayer, and it's weird because like that's never popular.
Usually when there's a game where they have only multiplayer, but then again, to be fair, they didn't on console they charge full price, but they didn't charge full price on PC. And if you did pay full price on PC, you got like some extra Blizzard goodies with it.
Yeah.
But even so, like a multiplayer only game that they charge basically premium pricing for is usually not a good look as far as like the internet. But it's just so damn well done that you can't help but be on board. But that said, there actually is. I don't know if I meant to tell you about this. There was a rumor that they're going to do like a big PvE mode.
Yeah, I actually heard that. Like a raid style.
Yeah, like a raid style. If they do that, oh my god! Because
I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect for it. It has all the parts. It has all the parts. It just needs like AI.
Yeah, exactly. Also, should note, Delphox listed a few courses that are.
Yeah, I read through that list. Solid list. I think the old school like SNES like Donut Land ones are fine. I actually like the update they did in this one with like the mud flats and stuff.
Yeah. So wait, are those the courses that are good for the traction characters or bad for the traction characters? The low traction characters. Well, Cheese Land's in there, so yeah, I guess those are the ones that are bad. Yeah. It goes. All the stuff that Delphox is saying actually goes back to what we were talking about before about how much they changed the characteristics of every driver in this game, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like the like traction and handling and like the emphasis on speed has like totally changed the physics of Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's not even funny. We were saying earlier that you used to have your one character that you were using from back in like 64 GameCube days, and you thought you were hot, but once Mario Kart 7 came around, it was a different ball game. Yeah. A different ball game entirely. And the fact that we have to take things like traction into so much higher consideration, like when planning a strategy for winning, goes to show you how much they changed the game. It's crazy. So actually, while we're on that topic real quick, I want to go back to Overwatch, but while we're on this topic of me getting killed in Mario Kart, while we're on the topic of Mario Kart, I wanted to...
Red shells were new, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Love you too. While we're on the topic, I wanted to ask you, what are your predictions, if you have any, for what... We're pretty confident that they're doing, like, Mario Kart 8 Redux or whatever for the Switch.
Oh, man.
What do you think they're going to add?
Oh, okay, for like a new Mario Kart or the...
For, like, what would they add to, like, a version of this game that they're going to throw on Switch? Because they're going to add something so that they can shut up all the people like me who are going to complain about buying it again.
Maybe like a bigger. I think honestly the only thing I could say that would like stop people from refusing to buy the newer version would be like a more well-defined online thing. Like, and when I say more well-defined, I mean like,
wow, I got massacred.
Maybe like some stuff that maybe like a more robust ranking system, maybe like something like that. Baby Park. Maybe they'll remove all tracks except Baby Park.
Yeah, that'd be some shit, wouldn't it? Delphox says he says actually since Mario Kart Wii. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's a good point. They started changing up once they introduced bikes. I guess I would argue that like they really like killed your ability to coast in 7, but you're right that they really did start flipping things up with Wii. Daisy and Toadette were relevant and not just Funky Kong. Well, yeah, so far we saw in the trailer that King Boo seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
The braking system is fine. Get good. Lol.
He has a point. He
does have a point. Labyrinth thinks that they won't add anything because it's Nintendo. Logan says I just pick whatever. Picking whatever is fine too, but I guess
I'm not gonna pick a character I don't like.
Right.
Just for the sake of like doing a thing I think is good for winning.
Right.
I'm only picking characters I like. I'm only picking like
the Daigo approach. I'm picking the best character in the game.
Yeah, I love Metal Mario. Like Metal Mario's been my jam since Mario Golf 64 because he had
Woo!
he could drive that shit 285 yards.
What?
That's wild.
I don't remember because did they have Metal Mario like freaking Mario Sunshine Shadow Mario in Toad Switch? I'm trying to remember.
No, they had Metal Mario 64. You had to unlock him. He had like a really crazy curve, but he could hit it 285 yards. My boys were calling me cheap for using him, and I was like, nah, he's
in the game.
All that. I was like, look at all that curve, and they were like, yo, it's 285 yards, and I was like, stop picking Yoshi. You want to hit it further? Like, I'm not. You know, I don't think that's like.
You weren't cheating.
I don't think I was like, you know, cavalierly exploiting the mechanics of the game.
No, you weren't like L canceling your way through freaking Mario Golf.
Not even then, because I still had to like account for all that curve.
Yeah.
I was getting curved like dudes at the club. I was getting so much.
Ah! That was perfect. Well done. I can't believe I still got. Anyway, we're not even gonna look at that.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing, man. I'm sorry, people out there in Twitch land, for having to watch that, but your boy just came in second, so.
Yeah. Anyway, Logan says, I'm just saying, just because it was in the trailer doesn't guarantee it's a thing. It's a promotional strategy, but I hope it was legit. Absolutely correct. We don't know if it's gonna be a thing or not. I hope it's correct too. Then again, I hate King Boo. I hated him in Double Dash. I don't care if he's in the game, but I hope that they're gonna add something. Delpho says Nintendo said don't believe anything in the trailer really, except for the console.
Ooh.
Well, you know, of course they're gonna say that. You know, we all know that Nintendo likes to screw with people as well. So, which really was half of the point of that trailer, I think, was to screw with people. So, this is one of the things that keeps them relevant, is that they screw with the fans just enough to keep them talking until they drop, you know, some new shit. So we'll see.
Hey, stop it.
I'm hoping for, personally, I kind of even don't want to say add characters because there's already so many characters, but I feel like adjust the character lineup. Like, now is when we can talk about why the fact that there's so many freaking babies in this game.
Terrible character. Like, it's.
Why do we need Baby Rosalina? Like, I want somebody to explain that to me.
I want somebody to explain Pink Gold Peach to me. Who the hell is Pink Gold Peach? Like
that too. What were you thinking?
Like, Peach was once a baby, sure. When the hell was Peach pink or gold? I don't know if I get or appreciate that. Like,
nah, no.
It's so stupid. Like, this has got to be one of the weirdest. And I mean, like, you know,
and you know what makes it worse is that if they had just expanded to the Mario spin-offs, which would have been less, I suppose, internally controversial, I think.
Yeah.
Then like, oh, we're gonna put Link in the game, which people wouldn't shut up about either. We could have had like cool ass characters from Paper Mario or any number of games.
Yeah.
Instead, we got Baby Rosalina.
Like, who the hell?
Why?
Stop. Like,
why?
Even in like, it's weird because even like some of the other like Mario like universe exclusive like off titles, like the sports games and stuff.
Right.
The Mario Golf 64 had like some weird characters. It had Luigi and Mario and Toad and stuff like that, and Metal Mario, but it had like random characters that they made up just because they wanted to fill out a roster. They didn't want to go to the other.
Well, that's why Waluigi exists.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, they were forgettable. Like, do you remember Mabel?
Mabel? Oh, jeez, I forgot.
Yeah, Mabel. Mabel was this random chick that was in Mario Golf 64.
Really? See, I never played Mario Golf 64. I started with the GameCube one.
And she was a human, right? Like, she wasn't very cartoonish at all.
Oh, you know what? Because that might have been related to, because I heard that they were the human characters in the GBA version too, because they had that story mode that everybody's pissed off that they never brought back. And I think the humans were a part of that, so that might be why they were in 64.
I mean, I don't know. It's still like one of the weirdest off-brand Mario
Right.
characters I can think of.
Are you kidding me? This is why I can't have nice things. No, Johnson.
No, Johnston. Oh man.
I'm not mad. Anyway. Let's see. Logan says, you want to see Mario Basketball? I do. You know they already have it, right? 2 of them, actually. There was Mario Basketball 3-on-3 for the DS.
Yeah.
And then in Mario Sports Mix for a Wii, there was a basketball mode. Both of them are really cool. Labyrinth says, shoot, if you're gonna put a Hyrule course and then Link, why not with Mute City and Big Blue put in F-Zero courses? Yeah, you're right. I mean, let me come back to that point, because Logan says have crazy powers in Power Tennis. He said F-Zero characters, not courses.
Samurai Goro?
Well, I'm gonna take it a step further. I actually was thinking to myself, what if they just had... Damn, everybody picked my level. I'm not even mad. What if they had Mario Kart Cross F-Zero? That's what I would like to see. Which sounds ridiculous on paper, but they already put F-Zero courses in this game, right? And it works. So I feel like if you take it a step further, that'd be great. Especially because that would be a way to bring back the F-Zero brand. Like if Nintendo is concerned that people don't know what the shit F-Zero is, which is fair, then have a crossover on Mario Kart, reintroduce people to the cast beyond Captain Falcon, and to the idea of Nintendo high-speed racing. It'll be awesome. Plus, it's another breath of fresh air for the Mario Kart franchise. I literally see no downside.
I mean, it sounds good.
They're never gonna do that, obviously, but
yeah. I know they'll never do it. I think at this point, any type of although I think that's probably still more plausible than a new F-Zero title.
That's the sad part. But yes, you're completely right.
Yeah.
Oh god, if they had See, everybody gonna get me started on F-Zero again. And it's not even like I'm that great at it, but it's just so much fun. If you guys haven't played F-Zero GX for the GameCube, definitely do yourself a favor and give it a shot. Because it's definitely one of the best high-speed racers ever created. In my opinion, easily the best F-Zero game they ever put out.
Yeah.
And just an amazing time overall. Now the single player is ridiculously difficult, but it's so much fun. Like especially if you get some friends. Like I don't think you were there for the time when it was like me, Dingus, our other friend Mark, where we played. No, you weren't there that night. Yeah, we literally turned on F-Zero and we played until 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, we looked outside the window, the sun came up, we kept playing. It started to snow outside, we kept playing. Then they were like, my eyes hurt because they decided the only way to play F-Zero is not blinking. Which is, fair. And they looked at the clock, it is 10 a.m. Maybe we should stop playing.
I was not there for that night, but I was there the time where we played it at you, me, Dingus played it at my house when I was living in the Bronx, and we had it was just the 3 of us, and there was that one track where like me and Dingus were having this crazy like one-on-one battle like for who was gonna be second place, and you were just like coasting in first, like feeling yourself, and like. Like our race to second place got so heated that you didn't even realize that we were actually catching up to you. And
this sounds like the thing that happened to me.
And we blew past you right at the end, and it didn't even matter. Like we were so stoked, we didn't even care who actually won, because we had like you had gotten third place, and we had just gotten past you right at the end.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of thing that happened to me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Delphox says Mario Kart 0, 200cc only. That would be... I forgot 200cc's in this game. because I don't play it because it's too ridiculous. Maybe we should. Maybe we need to have 200cc night just to really get ourselves pissed off. And if Nintendo wants to introduce us to something new, make it a Mario crossover. Free money. Yeah, you have a point there.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do like the Mario Kart mechanics with like one of their other big titles, like Pokemon, which
God, if they did,
which has 802 characters to choose from.
Yo, Miyamoto would just get on top of like a building and just like laugh into the sun as money just showered upon him.
Right? Because I mean, at this point, there's really only 3 like guaranteed hits for Nintendo. I think it's Mario Kart, Nintendo. It's Mario Kart, Pokemon, and Zelda. Those are the only 3 guaranteed money printers. And I think if you did a crossover with either Zelda or Pokemon with Mario Kart, it would do as well as you would think it would. I mean, they already have Zelda in here, but like there's way more Zelda characters to choose from. And if they did like all Zelda inspired tracks, I don't see why that wouldn't work. And
that would be really cool. Of course, I got clobbered because
and you know, I don't see why it would be any different with Pokemon. You know, the only problem is that with 802 characters, somebody is going to be hurt that their favorite Pokemon didn't make it in.
Oh, you mean like with what's happened to with Smash? There are freaking 60 characters in that game, and people are still tight.
Yeah, I mean, you could have 801 characters, and somebody would be mad that like Garbodor didn't make it in.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I'd be mad if Garbodor didn't make it in because Garbodor is like one of my favorite Pokemon. But I realize that he's like a trash Pokemon, literally. So, you know, it's fine.
I mean, his name is Garbodor, but
he's literally garbage. I mean,
Basura.
That's why I like him so much, though, is because they made a Pokemon that was literally garbage.
I'm apologizing, by the way, to everybody watching this right now because this is like one of my worst courses in the game. Like, I am horrific at this course. Horrific. Like, I am the worst mastery of all the turns in this course. This is actually probably where King Bowser is. This is probably another one of those courses Delphox was probably saying is probably not good for me. But yeah, with any character, I'm horrible on this course. There's some courses in a Mario Kart game that you just never quite get, and this is mine.
Oh really? This is not one of mine. I actually love this one.
This is like.
But that's a good like life lesson. You know,
in Mario Kart.
For Mario Kart, like there's always going to be the few that you just don't.
Yeah, you just have to hold that L and you know and accept it. Oh man, what am I doing? Yo, you on the other hand, oh my god, that was terrible. New Pokemon Snap game, more money for Nintendo. Everybody has been singing they need to do another Pokemon Snap. I've never played that game, but people are thirsty.
Yeah.
Thirsty. I feel like I hear about that game like every other month.
I hear about Pokemon Snap quite a bit, and I never got it. Like, I never understood it, is what I mean.
That would be stupid and lame. Pokemon because Game Freak is a dick. Actually, no. Bone Ride Dunes is a max speed track. Ah, I guess that makes sense too.
Yeah.
I don't know if a Pokemon Snap game would be stupid. I mean, actually, if anything, because one thing I've heard that I think makes sense is that people said that Pokemon Snap should be like a mobile game. So it could be like a Pokemon Go-esque AR type game. That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Like evolve the concept, and that would probably get back a lot of the people who are currently got butthurt with Pokemon Go, which they made some key mistakes that I think put off a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon Go is fine. I think it just. I mean, it certainly took the world by storm, and I just don't know if they thought if they like planned any further than it being popular, maybe.
They
Like,
seem to have plans, but it seems like they really weren't. I feel like it's almost like the opposite. Like they were not prepared for how popular it was going to be, which is mind-boggling because it's Pokemon.
Right, and that's the. I guess that's the thing. Like, maybe it was like, because it's really a bare bones game, and like the concept is great and fine, but it's bare bones. Like there wasn't like really basic things like you can't trade Pokemon and you can't like battle people just whoever you want. You only do battle at gyms, and it's like I think one, people are dumb for expecting like a full-fledged iOS game.
Right.
If they want all those things, they should just get a Pokemon game, which I think is probably what Nintendo wants anyway. But
Right.
well,
it's pretty much what happened.
But also, like, they did advertise that stuff in the initial trailers.
They did. That's what got people so hyped.
Yeah. So it's like, you want these things, and you're like, well, if we're just gonna, tell people to, piss off and just get a full Pokemon game, like, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is also Niantic's fault, but I don't know. I feel like, given that it was a brand new concept, I feel like they should have just given it more time in the oven. But they probably wanted to get it out there well ahead of Sun and Moon. Which
I mean, they definitely needed to get it out in enough time for Sun and Moon. But like, is it really Niantic's fault, or is it like,
Well, Niantic is really
going for this like small developer that's never done anything on like the scale of something like this. Like, why not relegate it to Game Freak just because they've never done an iOS game before? I think that's a little weird.
Well, they gave it to Niantic, I'm sure, or maybe Niantic probably pitched it to them, because remember, they have that game Ingress, which is Pokemon Go is essentially reskinned Ingress.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, I'm sure that's why they did it that way. Let's see. Logan says, they missed the opportunity with Wii U, the motion sensor, plus there are so many Pokemon. That's an ongoing critique that can be had. They should have waited to release Pokemon Go and need to be finished before releasing. That's pretty much what I'm saying, right? It was fun, but I didn't think they realized some people wouldn't understand it. Not everyone is a smart gamer. But see, to be fair, I don't think it was a thing that people didn't understand it. I think it was that they released something that wasn't ready, as you said before, right, Logan? Like, it wasn't. They put out a trailer and said you're gonna be able to do all this cool stuff. Then you couldn't do a lot of it, and then in fact they weirdly like took things out. Like, apparently what killed it for a lot of people when they took out tracking, so you couldn't even really find Pokemon.
Yeah. Like, that
so
didn't make sense.
That didn't make any sense. So yeah, it was a shit show. But lessons learned, we hope.
I'd like to see sales figures for Sun and Moon, though. I mean,
I'm pretty sure they did really well on Sun and Moon, because I think I remember hearing that like pre-orders were like crazy for Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I kind of have a rule that I always get hard copies of Pokemon games, but
why?
I don't know.
Because I was gonna say, I feel like that's the ultimate game you'd want to have digital, so you don't have to. It's always with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I let people borrow them a lot. I was like giving people copies of like my cards for a while, like to borrow,
right?
To like load up with Pokemon they didn't want or whatever, instead of like getting together to trade or whatever. So just for stuff like that. But I guess there wasn't really a point anymore. So this was the first one that I got digitally. I kind of felt sad doing it, but I didn't pre-order it because I got it digitally. So.
Maybe. All that stuff about like lengthy bar makes sense. Though I was also gonna say, could it possibly be a little bit of a nostalgia thing?
Yeah, probably. I mean, and you know how that's.
Yeah, I hesitated to even use the word, but it really is applicable.
Yeah, and you know how I feel with stuff like that. So like,
Frog Snacks, aka the Anti-Nostalgia Task Force.
Yeah. ANTF.
Yeah, the ANTF. We're gonna have the T-shirts, the Anti-Nostalgia Task Force. Seriously, but in this case, that's like a harmless form of nostalgia, right? Like you remember, and I get that. A lot of people say that even for like books and music and movies, like they really like the idea of being able to get that physical copy. It kind of like crystallizes your excitement, right? Let's say for something like FF15, right?
Yeah.
You this game you've waited for literally a decade.
Yeah.
And finally you have a copy of it in your hands, ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, I totally get that. Personally, I'm all about, like, I guess I'm a little overly mercenary about it, too, if that would be the appropriate word. Because I'm like, alright, what's most convenient, that's it. Like, I take...
Spartan is good, correct?
Spartan would be a better word, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like...
But, yeah, I mean, no, that's fine. The only thing... I don't see the benefit for, like, media that is ultimately digital anyway, like a television show or a movie. Like, you don't hold these things in your hand while you're watching them. The only one that really makes sense to me is books.
Right.
I've read books on a tablet, and as much of a trope it is, like, I don't really get the same satisfaction out of it.
Right. Logan said, yeah, I was in complete state to figure out on the go or Googling stuff. Yeah, not a good look, Pokemon Go. Delphox says, Sun and Moon is at like 10 million sales. Now, I don't know how well each edition of Pokemon does. I'm sure it's in that ballpark anyway. But even so, that's still really good. That game only came out, what, like a month ago? Not even?
Which game?
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon came out,
like 2
weeks ago.
Yeah, not even a month ago. That's insane. Logan says, I honestly don't understand why this one is so big. Then again, I don't follow news around it. Well, this one is probably big because of the lead-in of Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah, plus the install base for the 3DS is massive.
Is massive. Like, there's a good 60...
Like, I was just thinking about it today. Like, I know people who have a 3DS who haven't seriously played video games in years.
Dude, this is why I think the Switch... people are like, oh, it's gonna bomb. I'm like, what? I think it's gonna do great because for that same reason, there's all sorts of people, even like among all like quote-unquote hardcore gamer friends, right? Most of them do not own Nintendo hardware, but everybody owns a 3DS.
Yeah,
if you play games in any capacity, you have a 3DS. Yeah. And that's just going to carry over the Switch, and now you have the benefit if it plugs into your TV. What? Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, I think you're right. No, in that regard, it makes way too much sense. Because I was thinking about that today. Like, everybody I know owns a 3DS. It's incredible.
Right. Yeah, the 3DS is a massive success for a bunch of good reasons, and they're about to discontinue that. Like, people are going to hear Smash 4 on the go. What?
Yeah. And like, yeah, stop. I mean,
like,
I got people like coming up on Facebook like, oh, so stoked for Pokemon Sun and Moon, like showing, like taking pictures of their copies and posting it, and I'm like, you have never spoken about video games once in your life to me. Like, who are you?
Who are you? What have you done, my friends?
Yeah, like, I'm like, geez, man,
and the prospect of finally getting the first actual non-spin-off Pokemon game that you can plug into your big fancy HD. What?
Oh my god, dude! I was in first place.
Of course, on my track, we get the communication error.
Wow, dude! I was in first place.
Oh my god.
First.
I do again. It's fine.
I'm tight. Do you want me to host?
No, I already pressed it, so just.
Oh, okay.
Delphox says this is big because it looks so good and different from previous games. That's also true. They did seem to. I'm no Pokey fan myself. What? Yeah, I know, but it does seem that they did try to really add quite a bit to this new edition, from what I have heard. Logan says none of my friends have a 3DS. Most of mine are at Buki Sports, play only sports games. I have a feeling that was a typo. I wish I could get a group of friends that play stuff like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. The struggles. Yeah, I mean, I know a little about Logan's story, so yeah, I can understand where he's coming from. What the hell is this? Hold up. Hold on, guys. Sorry, technical. Yeah, autocorrect is nailing him right now. Actually, yeah, let me try to join you.
Okay.
Hit it up and I'll try and join you. Yeah, I totally understand what Logan's talking about, but also keep in mind, Logan's of a different generation than ours, so we're kind of that actually is like the one legitimate point that the people who are like it's not gonna fly have, because our generation still is of the mindset where dedicated gaming handhelds are still like legit.
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of people who are younger, it's like iPad is like, let me tell you, like when I go to train, and a lot of times people will bring their kids and have them sit on the side while we have class, and it's just iPads. Once in a while I see some kid have a 3DS, but it's mostly like kids rocking out on iPad.
Yeah, it really is.
Which personally burns me a little bit inside, I'm not gonna front, but
yeah, same.
But you know, it is what it is. This is the reality.
Are you able to join?
I'm trying to do that right now. I should be in. Ooh, I'm gonna pick Dolphin Shoals. You never get that track.
Yeah, same. We never get Dolphin Shoals. Whenever I do see somebody with a 3DS, I'm always like staring at them, like what are you playing? Like I'm always like really interested.
Geekdar. That's what it is.
Yeah, I will.
Not Gaydar, Geekdar.
I will never forget. I will never forget the time I get on the subway in New York, and this dude, this like 50-year-old dude in a suit, is like sitting there with his like pink 3DS playing Rune Factory 4, and I'm standing right above him, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, am I really seeing this right now? Like, this dude. I'm like, this dude's probably like the CEO of like ING Bank or something like that, and he's like playing Rune Factory on his 3DS on the subway. Like this guy makes me so happy.
That is literally what I want my life to be. Like I want to be the cool 50-year-old who is still playing Overwatch and shit. And like, let me.
Or whatever's cool in 25 years.
Oh yeah, whatever's cool in 25 years. I'm gonna be like, you bitch ass kids. Like I remember when Mario Kart 2 came out.
Yeah.
Oh God, we are that generation, aren't we?
There's gonna be a lot of us. You know, I mean, we're only 28. Like, if video games continue on the trajectory that they're going on, there will be plenty of opportunity for us to be annoying old people in 20 years. You know, like whenever they come up with like some like, you know, mildly condescending like nickname for whatever generation of people is younger than us.
Right.
We can be like,
Gen Y is what it currently is.
Gen Y, is it?
Yeah.
I thought Gen Y was in between Gen X and Millennials.
Well, Gen X is right before Millennials. Because Gen Xers are basically people who are like 35, 36 right now and forward. Okay. And then below them would be like Millennials.
Alright, well I guess it's Gen Y then. But yeah, I'll be like, you know, we'll be like, oh yeah, all these Gen Yers who like can't find jobs, it's because they didn't learn hard lessons playing video games like we did.
Yeah, they didn't know the struggles of playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and we'll like get to come up with all these like ridiculous like isms as to like why our generation is like more successful than theirs.
Oh
and,
God!
Like attribute it to like some like genuine overarching flaw that like everybody, you know, 15 years younger than us has.
Yeah.
Inexplicably born with like.
Right, all these goddamn Gen Yers knew how to throw fireballs, you know, maybe the world wouldn't be such a fucked up place.
I'm like, maybe if somebody taught them footsies back in the day,
yeah.
You know, they wouldn't be running into traps every 2 seconds.
Yeah, if all these goddamn Gen Yers didn't drop every combo.
Dude, I'm like, didn't your mama teach you how to punish?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the problem. It's like
nobody knows how to whip punish anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, that's why y'all are losing a wake up super.
Yeah.
back in my day.
Back in my day, nobody lost to Wake Up Super.
That would get you kicked out of a session.
Right. Oh, that is classic. Oh, third place. I'll take that.
Fourth, right behind you.
Delphox says, currently modding MK8. I think I just turned Cheap Cheap Beach into a battle course. I would love to... Yo, I do hear that people are modding these Wii U games, because I see people on Twitch with, modded Smash Wii U, and I've always been meaning to look into what the hell they were doing. Yeah. I'm imagining it's a similar exploit to what was going on with the Wii. Logan says, I still remember finding a group of seniors play Smash on 3DS. I joined them. As a freshman at my school, that's considered weird for that to happen. It's considered weird at every school, so don't think that's just you. But that's the beauty of video games. They bring people together regardless of age.
It's rare that I find a gamer that I dislike, because there's inevitably going to be so much that we have in common. There has to be some legitimate character flaw that makes me not like them.
Right. Delphox says Gen Y doesn't exist. Oh, it definitely does. I'll look up what the age groups are. I think it's one of those things where it can go by different names.
See, I've heard of Gen Y, but I thought it was something else. I thought it was something that people who were born between 1980 and 1985 invented to make themselves not sound like millennials. I think that's what happened.
Possibly, but
maybe it is the newest generation, born after 2005 or something like that.
Honestly, if we're being honest, the whole cohort naming thing has gotten so ridiculous, because
it's bad.
Yeah, lumping some fairly arbitrary group of people based on the year of their birth is never, even from a sociological perspective, is never quite made sense to me.
No, the last time I checked, a millennial was literally anybody born between 1980 and 2000. Find me a person born in 1981 and find me a person born in 1999, and I think that they had starkly different upbringings.
Yes, maybe not that different. If it were me, I probably would have done 85 to 2000.
85 to 2000.
Yeah, I think that would have been more reasonable. Because, I'm 88, right? And I don't think I would be so different from somebody who was born in even 99. All those people would now... Somebody 99, somebody do the mental math, whatever they are, but they're pretty young also.
Yeah, someone born in 1999 is 18. They're starting college right now. And
yeah,
I think
see what I mean?
Their ideas about the world probably aren't that vastly different than yours.
Yeah, they're not going to be that different. Maybe more, if anything, they're just weird. Our generation is, by generation speaking, more of people in their late 20s, early 30s. We're considered the first digital natives.
Yeah.
We're the first to really grow up with the internet being a thing.
Yeah.
But even so, the group that would be 18 or so now is the true digital natives, because they were born into a world where all this stuff was there.
Yeah, that's the only genuine difference I can find between somebody born 10 years after me is that when we were kids, the internet was new and we were just figuring out how to use it, but we were all figuring it out together. The only difference is that there were old people who were slower to pick it up.
Right.
But there are still plenty of people our age who are fairly computer illiterate, and I think it's because,
which also boggles my mind, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but the internet when you and me were
all right, that guy got me. Okay. Sorry.
Think about it. When you and me were 10, 11,
right,
the internet wasn't a given yet.
No, it wasn't.
So think about during your most formative years, the internet not being a given. And then it being a given. That's the biggest difference is the
things like social media.
Yeah, we were...
Social media didn't become a thing till we were in college.
Right, exactly. Facebook was actually blocked to high schoolers when I was in high school still.
Right.
And so it's that was the thing. You got to I was a freshman right as Facebook started to become like the thing, and I was like, oh, it's cool. Like I'm in this thing now. Like, I can have a Facebook, and like imagine growing up with like the internet being this thing that is all around you, but there's still this kind of like prohibition placed upon you by elders.
Right.
Whereas like when I remember being 10 years old, logging into dial-up and looking at titties on the internet. Like I remember doing that. And nobody was around to like, I mean, yeah, there were all these horror stories about the internet already at that point in the late 90s.
Yeah, I remember all that. And Dateline had you scared.
Right, but my parents weren't tech savvy enough to say, hey, don't be looking at those titties. Like, there was... they didn't know what was on the computer, and they weren't, you know, as prone to fear-mongering, I think, as, you know, maybe other parents. So,
yeah, it's a little different. Hold on, 1 second. So, Logan said all the things you just described would wrong my generation are things I naturally have. I was born in the wrong generation. Hey, let's never
say that about yourself. Never say that about yourself.
Yeah, it's you can say you're mature for your age, but Delphox says on the exploits, nope, completely different from Wii exploits. These are temporary instead of permanent and can't brick the console. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk. Yeah. He didn't turn it into Battle Quest didn't work out. Sorry, bro. But that's we're gonna have to talk about that later. He said, look at titties on dial.
Hey, that was the struggle.
That was the struggle.
But I remember that,
or you're like a bootleg HBO.
I had an HP computer. My parents had an HP computer. It was the first computer that we had, and you know, Logan, this is gonna sound like ancient text shit to you, but like for real, like we had this HP, you know, pre-built desktop computer. That was the first computer that we had, and we had dial-up internet. And I remember after school getting like all the kids from my bus stop and being like, come over, you will never guess what is on the internet. Like I remember like us huddling around the computer like that corny Sega ad where all the kids are like losing their shit at the graphics.
Right.
It was like that, except we were literally just looking at titties, and it was like girls, guys, like the whole bus stop was in my basement at one point, looking at titties on the internet, and it was like, and I remember I remember the website. It was porn.com. I swear to God, because I didn't know any better to, you know, like think of what porn websites might be called.
Yeah, you weren't thinking about, you know, momsmut.com or something like that.
No, or even something like RedTube, like that type of coded language never would have translated to me, you know, if I were to...
And guess what? When you were 10, it didn't exist.
Right, exactly. So my only thing was to, like, go to the address bar and type in porn.com, and sure enough, big old, like, homemade, big old like homebrew webpage full of titties, and I was like, here we are, like this is amazing. Are you guys seeing this? You know, friends from the bus stop, and they were like, yeah, we are. This is incredible. And that was it. And then I went back to playing Gizmos and Gadgets. So that was it. It was like titties and gizmos and gadgets.
Titties and gizmos and gadgets. Such a tron childhood we had.
Yeah, like the internet, or like computers, I should like home computers circa 1998 was like, you know, like shitty like dial-up titties and gizmos and gadgets.
You know what's funny? It's just funny to think about. Like, is this really happening? Anyway, sorry about that. It's funny to think about. When I was a kid, I used to laugh because, like, we had my brother's old NES, and even then I was like, damn, this shit is old, dude. Yeah. And, I can't believe I just went to 8th place. This is actually not happening. But, yeah, I used to laugh like, ha ha ha, this shit is old, B. I can't believe this. And what eventually happened is that now I get older, I'm like, damn. Now looking back at stuff that I thought was hot, and I'm like, damn, that shit was old. Like, think about PS1. But hold on 1 second. It's not DiGiorno, it's Distruggle. Well done, Delphox.
I like that. Yeah.
When I said I haven't meant to pokes and punish the stuff you're joking about, I didn't mean it in the wrong way. Yeah, we understood that. We probably did, but anyway. Delphox says, can you join? Absolutely. Though I let you know, we're going to be stopping soon. Hashtag gamers with jobs. we gotta cut this off in a little bit, like in about 15 minutes. But if you want, yeah, you can certainly join. Just add me, Clapping Frog, CLAPPING, Frog, one word, and then you can join up with me. But yeah, thinking about like PS1 graphics, people were like, "Whoa, it looks so like." Remember when we were reading Console Wars and just to talk about, oh my. We were planning for the greatest graphics in the world. We were gonna have like an 8 megabyte graphics card, and it's just laughable now.
The hyperbole was incredible, but I mean, that was the deal.
That was the deal. Like, we got together with the best Hollywood graphics studio ever, and they were gonna produce photorealistic graphics. Meanwhile, it was like fucking blocky N64.
Yeah.
You know, so. It's really funny how times change, and from 1996 to now, and now we have games that really do, like legitimately, you could pass some games for photos.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I remember like early Xbox 360 era, and my dad like doing double takes at the TV when I was like playing Madden with my brother and being like, being like, what game are you watching? Oh, you're not. And I do remember, and this is like kind of funny. Like, I always like talked to my parents about playing video games like with my friends, and I don't think that they understood the concept of it being like before the internet, right? I don't know if they understood the concept of like local versus online yet, or like the fact that online hadn't been invented yet.
Right.
And I remember, like, you know, this is like when they talk about like the mind of a child. Like this was almost like this, except I was talking to my dad, who was like 50 at the time. But he's like, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, right?
Right.
You know, this is like late 90s, pre-internet, and I renamed Sid after my friend Brandon, and I renamed Vincent after my friend Nick, because they both kind of look like those characters.
Which is great.
Yeah, I mean, you know what Nick looks like?
Yeah, so that's hilarious.
Like,
he does kind of look like Vincent.
Yeah, right. So I was like, this is great. So I renamed them, and you know, when you're watching the screen and you see the, you know, your team loadout, it's like on one side of the screen it's the enemy, and the other side of the screen it's the characters, and then it has their name in the health bar. And I remember my dad looking at the screen and seeing just like 3 people who he didn't know who they were, and then their names, like my name and then Nick and Brandon. And he's like looking at the TV and he's like, "Oh, are you playing with Nick and Brandon right now?" And I was like, "Dad, that's impossible. They're at home." Like,
what blasphemy are you talking about?
I specifically remember this conversation, and like now that could easily be a thing that is happening currently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you were playing Final Fantasy 14, yeah, that could very much be your one. Actually, just reminded me that one of my favorite things to do even now. So my brother back in SNES days was nasty at Mario Kart 1. Nasty. Like he used to.
How anybody could be nasty at that game is beyond me.
He used to say to people, "I'm not racing you. I'm racing the clock." Which was true, because you being in the dust was understood. Like that was a guarantee. Oh, so he was just racing the clock to beat his own time. So, going from like, as you said, like whack ass SNES Mario Kart, whack by today's standards, all the way up to this, where I go to him like, yo, check this out. I'm playing this new Mario Kart game in 3D, both like graphics and the fact that there's a 3D stereoscopic filter on it. And I'm playing this on a handheld against 12 people, some of whom are in France.
Like that's incredible.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just love to. Every time a new Mario Kart game comes out, I just have to remind him of. And just recently, when this game came out, I'm like, oh, remember that Mario Kart game that he had that had 8 characters, and this one has what, 32?
Yeah. And so I brought my 3DS to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving, obviously, because there's no way I was gonna spend all Thanksgiving, like, you know, no disrespect to Auntie, but.
Right.
You know, like, let's be real. So I'm like, I'm like staying at her place, right? And I got the 3DS going like Sunday morning before the football games.
Right.
Or Thursday morning, sorry, before the football games. Like, she's got all this stuff ready. She asked me what I'm playing, and I said Pokemon. And she like you could see like the wheels turning. Like at this point,
was it like the meme where there's like the math in front of her face?
It was... You know what? No, it was. First off, that's an excellent meme. I
love that meme. Every time I see it, I die.
The best one is when I tell people my name or like when I tell white people my name, and it's like a given that the person's like not white and like they your name out, like
yeah,
it's so funny. It's so funny because like that one is especially true. I know you probably get it a lot, but like
not really. Actually, I'm actually surprised. I usually don't get that much, but
because my mom would like, you know, she met you like years ago, and she always asks about you.
My mom.
But for a while, she would be like, "How's Kareem doing?" Like for the longest time, and I was like, "Ma, it's like 2 syllables." How can you get them wrong every time? And it's like, it's so funny. Like if it's just a name they're not used to hearing, and if they after a certain age, like they're done. Like, they're not getting any more names. So, you know, but no, my aunt's like, her wheels were turning a little bit, because she was like, I remember buying my son that game like 20 years ago. Are we talking about the same game? Like, and it was that kind of look.
The funny part is that actually it could have been, because they re-released those.
Oh yeah, it totally could have been. And that would have really like thrown her for a whirl.
Then there'd have been like 3 versions of that meme occurring.
Yeah, more advanced mathematics.
Yeah, in front of her face.
All right. Well, and listen, that was actually the last one for me. I can't squeeze another one in. I really got to get going. But,
okay, so we'll stop here. Logan, I'll talk to you in a second. But thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us. Delphox, thanks for joining. We'll definitely talk about modding and stuff for sure. And you guys that might follow, thank you very much for that too. We're going to be Frog Snacks over here, my buddy, and we're going to be streaming every Wednesday. It's Crunch Club. There's a group of 4 of us. We're on here all the time. Follow, check us out. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that you like. But for now, we're going to sign off. So have a good night, everybody. Take care. Peace.
Peace out.